Conflict, Denied Ops, marks the fifth and final entry in the once promising Conflict series, but sadly, it fails to live up to its predecessors. Released in 2008, the game took a significant departure from its roots, abandoning the tactical third-person gameplay the series was known for in favor of a first-person perspective. While this change could have been an opportunity to revitalize the franchise, it instead highlighted the game's lack of polish and creativity. Originally intended to be titled Crossfire, the name change to Denied Ops may reflect the game's thematic focus on clandestine operations, but it feels more like an admission of failure. The story is as generic as they come, with players taking on the roles of two operatives, Graves and Lang, tasked with preventing a global threat involving nuclear weapons. However, the narrative lacks depth and fails to engage. Both the plot and characters are bland, devoid of the charisma or emotional stakes needed to draw players into the experience. Graves and Lang's dialogue feels forced and cliched, making it hard to invest in their mission or even remember much about them after the credits roll. Gameplay-wise, Denied Ops aims for co-op-centric action, allowing players to switch between the two operatives or team up with a friend. Unfortunately, the mechanics are clunky, and the AI is borderline incompetent when playing solo. The level design is uninspired, with linear corridors and repetitive objectives that make missions feel like a chore rather than an adventure. The gunplay lacks the punchy feedback expected from a first-person shooter, and the weapon variety is limited and uninspired. The visuals are equally underwhelming. Despite being released during an era when the PS3 was capable of impressive graphical feats, Denied Ops is plagued by outdated textures, poor lighting, and an overall lack of detail. The environments feel lifeless and fail to create any sense of immersion. Ultimately, Conflict, Denied Ops is easily the worst game in the series. What was once a beloved tactical franchise has ended on a disappointing note, leaving fans longing for the charm and strategy of earlier titles like Conflict Desert Storm. This is a forgettable misstep that brings the series to an unceremonious close. Avoid it unless you're a die-hard fan, desperate for closure.